because the digital age of just streaming, even cable is going away. So it's very interesting to be living in this time, and even just a movie like this where we see the trailer and we think, oh, it's a great original property, it really holds more weight than you would originally think.
Good for Netflix, though, for going original.
For sure.
It's, most studios won't do that anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, I like that point. So that's going to conclude our thoughts on the Bright trailer, number 2. Be sure to check that out December 22nd, 2017. Obviously, it'll become available to all Netflix subscribers on that day. It stars Will Smith and Joel Edgerton, and it's directed by David Ayer. All right, our next topic is Justice League. Of course, we have another news topic in it. We seem to talk about it every week. But their runtime is officially 1 hour and 59 minutes. Now, I'm kind of confused because most blockbuster movies are at least 2 hours, 15 minutes. And so for a movie like Batman v Superman that came in at 2 hours, 30 minutes, it really wasn't a complete movie until they released the 3-hour special edition.
Which I do think helped the movie.
For sure. But the fact that this is coming in at just under 2 hours, it makes me curious. Maybe it's a result of a lot of people not going to see Batman v Superman because it was too long, or maybe it fits as under 2 hours. I don't know. It could be
if
either.
they don't want to shove too much in, they shouldn't, because shoving a lot in can ruin a movie. If they have the exact what they want to do with the amount of time, why not?
Right.
But if they rush it, then that's not.
If they're going to leave out important scenes just to meet a runtime that's more plausible to audiences, I think that is a problem.
That's a problem.
And so, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to simplify the story. Maybe they took out scenes that they paid a lot of money for. I don't know. It's very interesting to me. We're not going to spend too much time on this. I just found it interesting that a big blockbuster movie coming in at under 2 hours. I know Thor Ragnarok, I believe, is around the same boat where it's either it's under 2 hours.
Short,
yeah. So it's very interesting to see a movie like this come in kind of short, but
yet again showing how people don't like being in the theaters anymore.
Yeah,
it's gotta make it as fast as possible.
We will get into the topic of run times for movies later on when we get into Blade Runner. That's we'll get into it later, but yeah, that's basically all we have to say for Justice League. It comes out November 17th, 2017. It's coming up in about 3 weeks, I believe. It stars everyone: Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, J.K. Simmons, Henry Cavill, maybe.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. Directed by Zack Snyder and Joss Whedon. He will get credit officially. And that will basically, that'll wrap up our thoughts on the Justice League runtime. Now moving on, we have Ty Simpkins is officially returning for Avengers 4. That is not the one that's coming out next year. It's the one that's coming out the year after. So it's Avengers 3 Part 2, but they haven't given it an official title. And I know the original Infinity War was Part 1 and Part 2, and they got rid of that. I still believe they're still the same movie, because I know a lot of people are like, it doesn't matter if it's 3 and 4 or Part 1 and Part 2, it's still following the same.
It's still Infinity War, right? They should name it Infinity Gauntlet if they wanted to do that. I mean, the first part was Gauntlet and the second part's War. But.
Right. So he obviously won't be on screen until 2019. But Ty Simpkins, for those of you who don't know, was in Iron Man 3. He was
the little kid.
He was the kid. I'm going to get his name up right now.
He was also in Jurassic World.
Yeah, and he was taken under Tony Stark's wing, essentially. He kind of helped him
build back the suit up.
Yeah, get the suit back.
Crashed him wherever they went.
Yeah, and so his character name was I'm trying to find it. I'll just look him up personally. But anyways, this is very interesting news to me because, you expect he's not going to be in huge blockbuster scenes. He's kind of be in a personal scene from wherever. I think it was Nashville, Tennessee is where they were located. But it's very interesting to see him coming back because you wouldn't think they would have
such a minor character.
Yeah, exactly.
He held his own in Jurassic World, so maybe he gets adopted by Tony? No,
maybe.
Did he have parents?
I don't know. His name in Iron Man 3 was Harley Keener. And so maybe he plays a role with becoming the next Iron Man. I don't know.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
I'm just throwing ideas out there because I do know. Well, I don't know for sure, but it does seem like Robert Downey Jr. is kind of on his way out. I think
a little less than Chris Evans or something like that. Chris Evans is like, oh no, I'm out. But I think Tony Stark will stick around as a minor character.
I hope so, but honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing.
He's the glue. In the MCU.
I would not be opposed to seeing Ty Simpkins take upon the role. I'd be I wouldn't be for it necessarily, but I'd be optimistic. I
think he's too young for right now. He's too young to play.
He would be, I believe, 16. Yeah, he would be. Well, actually, when this movie comes out, he'll be 18. But it is still kind of young. But
when did Iron Man 3 come out?
2013.
Oh yeah.
So he could make an interesting addition. But overall, I am excited to see him come back. I love when minor characters from the MCU get their roles back. I love seeing Jon Favreau back in Spider-Man Homecoming.
I love Happy Hogan. He's great.
Great character. So Ty Simpkins as Harley Keener. It'll be interesting to see what he brings to Avengers 4, slated for a May 2019 release date. Obviously, we don't know who's going to star in Avengers 4.
Because the outcome of Avengers 3.
So basically, whoever's still alive at the end of Avengers 3.
Which I'm sure will be a lot of people.
We'll see. Possibly Chris Hemsworth, possibly Chris Evans, possibly Robert Downey Jr. No real confirmation of people who are going to star, but I do know Josh Brolin as Thanos will be back for Part 4. Or not Part 4.
The fourth Avengers movie.
Yeah, and this, again, will be directed by the Russo brothers. You recognize them from Avengers 3 coming out next year, Captain America Civil War, and The Winter Soldier. Yeah, so that'll conclude our thoughts on Ty Simpkins returning for Avengers 4. Our next topic is the Logan spinoff with X-23 is officially in the works. Now, this is interesting to me because I like the character of X-23, but I don't know if she can hold her own movie. They might just be running out of ideas, but also...
Which is probably true.
Also, I don't want to necessarily commit to that idea because I do think an X-23 movie on a smaller budget could work, but as a full-fledged movie, I don't know what you can really do with the character. Because don't get me wrong, Daphne Keener, I believe is her name, she did do amazing as X-23, but just seeing her as her own, in her own movie, Daphne Keene, close enough. She was amazing as X-23, but like I said, having her own movie is a whole different story. Can she lead it? Can she really bring those characters to the forefront and step out of like the Wolverine shadow is up in the air. So I don't know how I feel about this movie. It's only in the works. They haven't greenlit it or anything, but if the script is good, I'd say go for it, I guess.
I think Fox is running out of ideas. They're not going to be able to use Fantastic Four ever again. And they're going to take all the life out of the X-Men series and push it for all the money it's worth.
Yeah. It's tough. I do like multiple studios having properties, as I said, with Marvel having competition with both like Fox and DC.
I don't see it as competition at that point. I see it as like characters who should be able to be with each other who can't.
I guess so.
Because not seeing the X-Men with the Avengers kind of stinks. I would love to see that. And like the whole Sony thing, I hate too, because like they're gonna pull back Spider-Man once it makes its money.
I guess. Yeah, so we don't want to tread too far off with getting into a whole heated debate about what property should be where. But yeah, overall, X-23 movie, it's interesting, but it really feels like they're just grasping at straws here. I don't think it's... Unless they have a good script and a good director, but I don't know what story you can really tell with X-23. Are we just going to bring back the same villain? I don't remember if he died or not in Logan, honestly. I saw the movie so long ago.
I still haven't seen it.
Yeah, great movie, though. She was amazing in Logan, but like I said, leading your own movie is another thing completely.
Yeah.
All right, so that's going to basically conclude our thoughts on the X-23 possible movie. Now we have news on Venom.
Oh, no.
Okay, me and Mike kind of differ on this. So Venom is officially in production. We have a behind-the-scenes photo with Tom Hardy, basically looking at what looks like a table. Maybe they're jotting down the script, but he has a smile on his face. There's two other people in the photo. I don't know who, but just to give my thoughts on this movie, I like the idea because it seems like it's going to take a different route than the normal superhero movie. And yes, it is Sony, which notoriously are not good with their properties. But at the same time, they did get Tom Hardy. And Tom Hardy is notorious for being very picky with the scripts he chooses. So the fact that he signed on to this movie gets me excited for what the script entails. Also with the possibility that Carnage will be in this movie is very interesting. I don't know. I feel like Venom could be a good story told. if they give it the R rating, if it's a proper script. I'm optimistic. I like the idea. Mike, I know you differ.
Unfortunately, I'm quite pessimistic about this movie because I do not see the point of making a movie with Venom without having a Spider-Man in it. It makes absolutely no sense. And I've known who's the lady at Sony?
Amy.
Yeah, her, whatever. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's like
Amy Pascal.
Yeah, she's
Amy
like,
Pascal.
oh, we're gonna have the universe is connected, and then you have
Kevin Feige.
Kevin Feige's like, no, we're not. So I don't know. I love Tom Hardy. I loved him in Mad Max. He's a great actor, and I respect him and all. But I don't think you can make a movie like this without the characters that it's based upon. Like Venom, he just can't hold his own in a movie. He can in the books, fine, but it's such a different medium that like I don't think people are gonna be interested in this character in the screen. It's just gonna be a lot of fighting, and that's all it's gonna be. And especially if you use Carnage too, like that's like
Carnage is a different character.
Oh, I know he's a different character,
but Tom Hardy wouldn't play both.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
But like using Carnage as well is just taking more that can't be in the MCU.
Yeah.
Which is because Carnage is also a really cool character. He's the symbiote. That's like a mentally insane guy.
And what he was the guy who took over was already in prison.
Yeah.
Is it Ben something or I forget his actual name.
But
I feel like
I just like I'll give it a chance. You know, like I can't say I know it's gonna be bad, but I do not have high hopes for it because of what Sony's done in the past.
I suppose that's fair. I'm not disagreeing with your reasoning. I have more optimism. Because
Tom Hardy,
Tom Hardy.
I mean, that's probably like the one plus. I mean, he's a great actor, but like you saw what they did with Amazing Spider-Man 2. They don't know what they're doing. They just, they plaster their name all over Homecoming. Like, I hate that.
I'm interested to see where they go with it because, like I said, Tom Hardy.
Which Venom is he? Was he Eddie Brock?
I believe Eddie Brock. And the Carnage they would use is Cletus Cassidy, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm optimistic because I want to see where they go with it because I don't think they're going to follow the traditional, superhero origin story. I think they'll go with a darker approach. And so...
Because they just want people to come, it's rated R, ooh.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to see a trailer first.
Yep.
That's essentially it.
Yep.
If the trailer's good, which most of these blockbuster movies do have good trailers, I will definitely go see it. But if I hear like there's behind the scenes problems, that's always a big hesitation for these movies. Venom is aiming for an October 5th, 2018 release date. I'm not sure if it'll meet that.
Oh, it's going to be like a spooky movie?
I guess so if it's coming out in October. Maybe they're just trying to get the Halloween audience. It could be like a slasher movie, we never know. But it just started production, and if it just started production now and we're about a year out from when it would release, I would say that it's not a huge budget then, because usually special effects
this is a huge risk.
Yeah.
This is a massive risk for Sony. I think if this fails, they're going to be done with making stuff like this. It's I think they'll still put their name on MCU stuff, but it would be such a waste of a character, and it's just a massive risk. If it does good, they'll keep on doing it, of course. And I'm sure it's going to make a lot of money, but critically, I don't know.
Yeah, I will be interested to see how it does in terms of critic response, box office response, all of that. Like I said, it comes out hopefully October 5th, 2018. As of right now, it only stars Tom Hardy. I know there are some minor roles cast, but no notables, and it's directed by Ruben Fleischer. Alright, so we are going to get into our Blade Runner 2049 review officially. I'm very excited to talk about this movie. I really, really enjoyed this movie. We're going to start with a no spoilers section, and we will give a little sound effect, or I'll let you know when we get into spoilers, but for now we're going to focus on essentially what you know from the trailers, which is going to be very limited because this movie's marketing does not give much away.
Great marketing.
At all. Great marketing for
no
people
spoiler.
like me, Mike and myself, because we like to go into these movies blind and not know what they're about. But for a general audience, that's where I think the problem lies. I think I touched on this last week's podcast about how the premise of this movie, I'm not going to get into it until the spoiler section, only because I feel like it could fall into a spoiler just because it wasn't explicitly stated in the marketing. But the premise of this movie is fascinating. Yeah. It's a really, really intriguing story that slowly gets developed throughout scene by scene. We'll get into that in a little